I know the simple way to get rock and roll. I know the simple way to get you out of control. I can manipulate it like a doll. I say to all of the chicks and the girls I've lost, to all of my enemies, true and false, to everyone who's got no hope, I say yeah, I say fuck you all. I know the simple way to get rock and roll. I know the simple way to get you out of control. I can manipulate it like a doll. I say yeah.
Welcome you in the second part of this Super Canary build. Today we're gonna do some stuff with the new engine, also probably do some rewiring and stuff like that. It's lovely sunny afternoon in Poland, about 35 degrees, and let's get to work. And there's Michał there.
Hi.
We take a road trip to a nearby scrapyard to find the new heart for the Canary.
Gaz i turbo. Było tego bez.
Artur's 106 is truly a multi-purpose vehicle. And the new meets the old.
This is my old engine that we've taken out of the Seicento. This is 1.1 54 brake horsepower, 8 valves, so-called FIRE engine. FIRE stands for Fully Integrated Robotized Engine. Nice, right? Yeah, this family came to life somewhere in mid-80s, and yeah, this engine was also produced somewhere from, I don't know, 1983 or 5. First with the carburetor, then single point injection like in this case, right? And then of course the multi-point injection, sequential one. And this is the new engine, 1.4 turbo from 500 Abarth, 135 brake horsepower in this case. It's called T-Jet. And yeah, it may look like a completely different engine than the old one, but believe it or not, it's also from the FIRE family, which is actually developed quite heavily along the years. Yeah, there is, for example, a newer version of that engine has this so-called multi-air technology with electro-hydraulic valves. Yeah. Fiat was also always quite innovative. You can Google that out. Anyway, so for example, the mounting point of the old engine looks something like that. I can take it apart here. Okay, so we can see it. Yeah, so it goes somewhere over here. And this is how the mount on the new engine looks like. Yeah, so it's actually completely different. But look at this. If I just take out this whole mounting for the generator and the air conditioning compressor that was here, toxic wasteland. Look what happens now. So let's take this out. Yep. And I've got the new original mount here. Yeah, nice, shiny. And Yeah, look at that, it's bolt on. Yeah, so as you can see, even though the original mounting point is somewhere over here in completely different place, all the holes are the same on this block as on the old 1.1. So the original mounting point will actually fit here, bolt on, and here I have the original generator from 1.1, and believe me or not, but this will also fit to the holes that are already there, right? Like that. Nice. And the only thing we need to do is change this wheel, because on the older, on the 1.1 it's reversed, so the belt goes closer to the block and the sonic wheel is outside. So we'll also have to move a little bit this reluctance sensor, and that's it. And now for something completely different.
Number 1. The lunch. The lunch.
I have taken out the servo. Yeah, now it was, well, pretty much easier to take it out while the engine is gone. And we're gonna change it. And here it is. Yeah, this is the one that I've just took from the car. And this is the replacement. Yeah, maybe it doesn't look so good, but as you can see, it's pretty much, I would say around 20% bigger. Yeah, this one is from Punto Mark 1. Yeah, it still has a pump attached, but we'll use a different one. So I have a brand new pump over here, straight out of the box. And yeah, this one is from Punto Mark 2, from the ABS version. And yeah, as you can see, it's a bit longer than this one, but it should fit. It should have the same diameter here, and it should fit to this servo pretty much without any problems. Yeah. In theory, I could go for another pump that is still bigger than the one from Seicento and feed it to this servo, but it would be, let's say, harder to push the brakes. Yeah, so this will allow me to do it without any problems.
Filthy does not fully reflect the state of this servo, so we will work on its looks first. After grinding out 15 years of dust, we mask the parts that should not be painted and clean all remaining grease before applying the primer. Then we smooth out the surface with sandpaper, clean it again, and the color follows. New servo is too stubborn to simply fit, and it will need a few kicks with the hammer on its side. We will continue work on that in the next episode. Now we start to strip the loom and remove all connectors and wires that are not required for the new engine. But it's merely a beginning of this wiring trip.
So the new engine mount is in place, as is the alternator. Of course it needed some persuasion, but nothing that angle grinder couldn't handle. Yeah, it's pretty tough. This is ready. As you can see, the place where the original engine mount was, here it is, has now a gap, and we need to get a seal here that will seal the belt there, right? So that's in progress. And the last thing we need to do is change the position of this variable reluctance sensor for the phonic wheel. As you can see, because it used to be over there, where now the belt is. So we need to put it somewhere like that. Yeah, somewhere over here.
You will see how this story ends in one of the next episodes of D-Stage Garage.
Did I tell you that it's 35 degrees? I think it's closer to 45. What do you say?
It's fucking hot.
Okay, so the first thing we need to do here is cut those trousers, right? So what we're gonna need is the pen, or whatever you call that, marker. What would you say? Here? Yeah, let's start here. Okay. Yeah, and the second. Yep. Now we're gonna need some cutting tools, whichever you like. Okay. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? Die! It's fighting back. Okay, we won't need that one.
You're just lazy.
What?
Knife. You're just lazy.
Lazy? Why?
Knife was much more fun.
But it was much faster this way. Yeah, Michał approves?
Michał approves.